This is Rosebank Farm, and I'd like to do a very quick video on how to make a self-wicking pot, and I'm going to use it for my African violets. Now, this African violet lived in this cup, nested inside of this cup for the last year. And as you can see, it's very healthy and very full. So I transplanted it into a bigger self-wicking container. So as you can see, the string hanging out of the bottom of the pot, and then I was able to nest it inside of this other flower pot, and they just fit together right like that. They nest together perfectly, and you can see right here that the flower pot with the wicking system doesn't sink all the way in. It rests on the top. And that's the way this works. The cup doesn't go all the way to the bottom. It rests right inside. So that's one thing I like about a self-wicking system. All right, so here's an African violet that is in an African violet pot. You fill the water from here. And this is clay, so it's supposed to be self-watering. But this African violet is not happy. It's not doing that good. It's in the right potting mix. I fertilize it, but it seems to be always on the dry side, even when there's water in the reservoir. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it out and get rid of the excess soil. We're going to use a piece of yarn. I'm just using white. I don't know if it makes a difference if the yarn is colored for a dye. The one I just transplanted, you could see that that string had a little bit of color to it. I'm just going to use white. So let's get started. So the first thing you need is a cup that will fit inside of another container but not go all the way down into the water. Then you need to poke a hole in the bottom. I'm reusing the cup that my other African violet was in, so it already has a hole. So now I'm going to cut off a length of string. I'm not measuring it because I can adjust it at the end, and we're going to thread it through the hole. Maybe. So I have this string threaded through the cup. I don't want it to stick out too far. I want more of the string at the bottom. So now I'm going to get my African violet. You see there's still water in there. And I'm just going to try to pull out the root ball. There we go, with enough soil. And now I want to work that piece of yarn up into it. And I am a messy gardener, but we're just going to squish that in there and groom the plant a little bit. Okay. Just like that. Pull that off. Alright, so that's all there is to it. Now I will fill my cup up with water and nest this inside of it, and I'll try to give you an update in a couple weeks, and we'll see how the African violet likes being in the smaller container with the self-wicking. So I have my cup filled with water. I didn't fill it very full, as you can see, but just enough that it'll sit in there and wick. And then I just put it in wick first and just nest it right in there like that. It sits on the top. So you can do that with any two size containers that'll nest together. I just recommend that it doesn't drop all the way down inside your larger container. And best of luck. Hope that works. This is my kitchen windowsill, and we're looking at the struggling African violet. It is now in the same cup with a similar wicking system as to the one that is thriving. I put it in the same spot on my kitchen windowsill as the one that was doing so good. So hopefully this African violet will take off and do much better. And so then I just made some space over here for the African violet that was doing so well. It seems to like this exposure, and look at how full that is. It's like doubled in size from the previous year. So hopefully it will continue to do good in this spot. I hope that you're able to try your own DIY wicking system of flower pots. Just nest them together. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to Rosebank Farm, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!